If you saw my last video, which was a record review, be assured the beard is coming back. I am glad it is. Because, I don't know, after I shaved, I just looked at myself and was like, ew, gross. So, thank you for continuing to come on this journey with me. Alright, before we start this video, I want to start by saying thanks and sorry. Thank you guys for 223 subscribers. I know that in the grand scheme of I say this every time. I know in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's not much, but it's a lot for me. I think this is the most I've ever had on YouTube whenever I've done a channel. I think the last time I got to like 200 subscribers, I did like lyric videos when I was like 12 or something. Yeah, it means a lot to me that I've gotten this far. So thank you for supporting me, especially these last couple months, because I'm going to go into it more on an update video that I'll post on my second channel. But it's been a rough time these past couple months, and your guys' support has really helped me out. So I really appreciate every single one of you. And for those who subscribed for gaming content, this is where I'm saying I'm sorry. Because for those who are new to the channel, my content spans 3 different genres of like video, and that is music, gaming, and voice acting. And I'm going to go more in depth on what this channel is going to be like in that said update video. So go to Brandon Vinall Live. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. My thoughts on the Kirby Global Ride Test Ride. I think Global Test Ride. I think that's what it was called. Oh, would you guys be okay if I just call it the open beta? Because that's kind of what it is. So let me first start by saying what this game means to me, because I never even talked about this game, I don't think, on this channel. But Kirby Air Ride was a big part of my childhood. I grew up with the GameCube. That was the first console I played where games were actively coming out for it, because my first game console was the SNES, and I was born the year that Super Mario 64 came out. And yet I, for some reason, never got an N64 until later on in my life when I wanted one, and now I don't have one again. But still, the GameCube was big for me, and I loved Kirby, and I decided, oh, Kirby game on GameCube? Let me try that out. And it was a racing game that I enjoyed. I remember doing the free run mode with my brother, and we just kind of messed around in that. So that was really fun. I also remember being very disappointed when I unlocked King Dedede as a racer, but he could not be in City Trial. That was very disappointing, extremely disappointing. So the fact that I was able to do it is kind of unreal. So what did the open test have to offer? Well, they have the tutorials for everything pretty much. And then there was the air ride mode, but that was an offline exclusive mode. There was the paddock. I'm going to call it the lobby, just because that's easier to say. There's the lobby, which is where you would invite friends. So if you had other friends, I'm guessing this is how it would work. I didn't really have any friends who were interested, which is why I want to bring more attention to this game and stuff like that. Essentially, that's where you would invite friends to do, I'm assuming, City Trial, because that's all it would let me do is City Trial. Speaking of City Trial, that's what the other mode was, City Trial. And that was online. You got a good batch of the characters. I think they actually chose a solid group. I wish Marks was there, but Marks was not. He was the only like lightweight character that I was really interested in playing as. I just want to be Dedede, okay? I was just happy he was there. My boy in his Smash Bros. Design, which is my favorite of his designs. Before we continue, I do want to mention that all footage from Air Riders that's in this video is from my stream when I streamed the open beta. I did play like 20 minutes of it the night prior, so yeah. Okay, so going back to each mode, the air ride mode, there was only 3 races you could do, and it was offline only. I believe I kind of covered that, but I feel like they should have added at least a couple more tracks. I think that's my main critique with that. Also, I don't know why that wasn't also online. I feel like it's kind of weird that City Trial was the only online feature that was there, because, you know, I know City Trial is what's hyped up the most. I know it's what's the most unique part of Air Riders compared to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds and Mario Kart World. But still, you know, there still should have been some online races, because Every air ride race, I always won because the CPUs were way too easy. If there was at least a way to adjust the difficulty, that would be great, but I didn't see anything personally that could adjust the difficulty. I just destroyed them every time. Top Ride was not available in this test, which is fair. I mean, Top Ride, let's be real, it's just an extra mode. I mean, it's kind of a bigger deal nowadays than it is in Air Ride, but still, it just wasn't important enough to be in the open beta, I guess. So now City Trial, which is when I spent like 85% of my time doing. City Trial was really fun, and I had a great time, and it's more chaotic than Air Ride for sure. I feel like Skyla, the island that City Trial takes place in, perfect size. It is not too small, where there's not a lot of land to cover, but it's also not too big, if that makes sense. It's like the perfect size for 16 players. It does get very chaotic, but that's kind of part of the point of City Trial when getting all these stat boosts and stuff like that. It's to make other people lose their stat boosts or, like, I don't know, outdo other players and just screw them over by blowing up their machines that they're riding on. The stadiums also were pretty fun as well. I think my least favorite was probably the oval circuit, but that's just because of how boring it kind of is. It's literally just, you know, Baby Park from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe / I think Double Dash is where it originally was from, where it's just like one long oval. It's like that, but like less laps and just a little longer. Kind of boring. I also was kind of disappointed with the Mecha Decepticon DDD boss fight, which is the only boss fight I did, and that was dumb easy. That took less than probably a minute to take him down. Let's go. Easy shit. That was a bit too easy. Also, in those kind of modes like Dusty Derby, the needle ability is super OP. Now, obviously, this is an open test. There are going to be issues, and there were. There was just one annoying thing. It happened 2 times? I think only 2 times during my 2 hours of playing on stream. There was like 6 hours of times you play, but because of the fact that the only online aspect was City Trial, I did get kind of tired of the game, which we'll get more into that, but I want to get into like some of the other issues first. Let me start with actually something that was an issue, and that was like lagginess with other players and stuff. I really didn't get that much. If anything at all. If I did, I didn't notice it, but I was pleasantly surprised with the lack of lag with the online. Because, you know, so you play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and oh my gosh, sometimes it can get really bad depending on one of the players' connections, like Jeepers. But I experienced like 0 of that. The worst it got was I did get kicked sometimes. There were a couple times I got kicked, and I think it was also like 1 or 2 times as well. The thing that bothered me the most was there would be this thing where it said I was matchmaking or whatever, and it said 0 seconds left. But it wouldn't also let me back out of it. And then I saw players come in and out, and that confused me. So I waited a little bit, and nothing was changing. No game was starting, and I couldn't go back. So I just went to the home menu and closed the beta, and then I reopened it. Let me start by saying I'm giving this like the benefit of the doubt, mainly because, you know, this is just a test. This is like a test. It's like the open beta shit with the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I'm gonna give it like another minute. If it doesn't load, we're gonna go home and come back. You know, part of me hopes like there'll be an option to change the menu music to the original Air Ride menu, because I actually think I prefer the intensity of that one more. Yeah, we're gonna be reopening this. That's something that is to be considered when putting this out for the final release. Now, when it comes to bugs and stuff, I don't judge the full game on those when it comes to these open test things. I think it's actually good for a lot of these games to have a prominently online part of it, being like a big part of it too, to have these open tests and things like that, so that they can get notes from players about their experiences and stuff like that so that they can improve them before launch, which I think is great. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds did that, and I participated in the open beta for that shortly before it came out, and now I participated in this. You know, I was going to say Mario Kart World should have done it, but at the same time, Mario Kart World was a launch title for the Switch 2, and it was not also a Switch 1 game, so that's kind of impossible to do, but, you know, whatever. I want to talk about some things I noticed about the game itself. I could tell the difference between a heavy character and a light character. Whenever I played a heavier set character like DDD, Chef Kawasaki, and even Rick, I felt more of the need to get a bike and focus on like attack stats and, you know, just being fast and just anticipating like a race style stadium or like a attack derby style stadium thing. And then when I chose Kirby or Magolor, which are the only two lightweight characters I chose, I always wanted to aim for a gliding one, like just kind of making it so I can fly as much as I can. I used the wheelie bike for the heavier set characters a lot, and I used the wing machine. I forgot what the full thing's called. I just saw wing when I was trying to get it, but I used that for the lighter ones most of the time. That's what I would target at least. One thing for sure, with the machines specifically though, you can tell the difference, and also you can mix match these. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just noticing, I'm just saying that maybe if you're playing this, if you're planning on playing this a lot, get two mains. Get a lightweight and a heavyweight main. My heavyweight main's DDD. I mean, come on. But, you know, I'll also play Chef Kawasaki. I really like Chef Kawasaki's special ability where he just throws, like, piping hot curry everywhere, and if a opponent runs into it, they get hurt or whatever. I thought that was very useful. I did a lot of damage with that. I would say one thing that did annoy me is with the new ability of just instantly being able to switch to another air ride machine, you have to press the Y button. The Y button does something else too. It activates the super. So there were a couple times in City Trial where I was trying to jump onto another machine and I would accidentally trigger my super, and then I would go back and then the machine I wanted was gone. No, I didn't want to do that. I think really there should be a way to like remap that for City Trial. I'm not sure if there's a way to do it if it's too late or not. If not, it's just one little thing that's not a huge deal. It was just kind of annoying. I'll say this, if you enjoyed the original Air Ride, you will enjoy this game. Especially if you're a fan of other Kirby characters, or maybe you wished you could play as other Kirby characters before. I recommend it, especially since they're going to be bringing back all the tracks from the first game. You might as well get it. Hell, I'm looking at my GameCube collection right now, which is behind where the camera is, and I'm staring at Kirby Air Ride, and I'm thinking, should I still keep that, or maybe I should get rid of it? So yeah, that was my experience with the Global Test Ride. I believe, I think that's what it was called, yes. I believe there's 2 more of them, at least. There might be 3. I could be wrong about that at other times of the day and stuff like that. So if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and do it. I'll put the dates right here or somewhere around there. But before I go, I want to talk about what I think Nintendo should really do now that they're doing these open test things. Y'all gotta put out an actual demo for the game. Like one that has maybe 5 courses, and then maybe City Trial, but only 4 different stadium things and no other ones. Like, that's all you gotta do. And that could be the full demo. Because unlike Mario Kart World, unlike Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, this game is very different. Because in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and even Mario Kart World to an extent, racing is the main part of that game. As much as Air Ride would make sense to be the main part of that game, this game is more of a party game, I can say. It's focused on racing, but it also has the aspect of chaos and stuff because of City Trial is pretty much what they're marketing the most and really putting the focus on. So I highly recommend putting out some sort of demo for people to try, because like it or not, Kirby Air Riders is going to be a niche game, and they're probably not going to sell as much as they're probably hoping it's going to sell. That's why you need a proper demo. I know people in my life, like friends, who it has piqued their interest, but not enough to do these open betas because they have lives or other games are coming out or something else, and you know, they're just not familiar with Kirby Air Ride. They're not necessarily Kirby fans, but it looks interesting. So I say just put some sort of free demo out. It doesn't have to be before launch. It can be after launch. I can live without playing with some friends for a little bit, but I mean, like, it'd be nice you put an actual demo out for those who can't get it day one. I have mine pre-ordered and paid off, so I'm good there. So yeah. Overall, I had a great experience, and I look forward to the full release. Let me know in the comments down below if you played the open beta for Kirby Air Riders, what you liked about it, what you didn't. Did you agree with anything I said? Did you disagree with anything I said? Are you looking forward to Kirby Air Riders, and what are you looking forward to the most? If you are, let me know all that in the comments down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell when you do. And yeah, so long and good night.